Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another segment of the Vegas Voice Senior Vote Political Segment. My name is Dan Roberts. I'm the publisher, and our goal is to introduce you, our readers, to all the people running for public office. We're very lucky today. We have a very special guest, and that is Shelley Berkley, and you are running for mayor for the city of Las Vegas.
I am indeed, and it's great to see you again.
It's very good to see you. You have such a varied career, a resume that's just fantastic. And one of the questions that I have to ask right off the bat is, with your career, with all the things that you have done in the private sector as a congresswoman, why in God's name would you decide to run for public office?
Well, Dan, I can say without fear of contradiction, you're not the first person to ask me that question. And I think it goes back to my own childhood and background. I'm the granddaughter of immigrants to this country that couldn't speak English, had no money, limited skills. They came to America to escape the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up hearing stories about what life was like where they came from and why they came to the United States, what their dreams, their hopes, aspirations were. And for me, public service has always been a way of giving something back to the United States for having taken my family in. And it's not only that we were able to survive because of America, but we've thrived in America. So to give something back, if I was a great singer, I would be singing. If I was a great writer, I would be writing. But I'm not any of those.
Okay.
But what I am is a good, solid public servant. And this is my way of giving something back. Also, when I left Touro University and I left June 30th of this year, I started thinking about what I was going to do with the rest of my life. What is my passion? What do I enjoy? And what I enjoy is giving back to the community, being involved in public service, helping people. And a number of people spoke to me about running for mayor. And the more I thought about it, the more it felt like a good fit.
Yeah.
And so now I feel very comfortable with this decision, and I'm very excited about the prospects for the future.
It must be very different being a congresswoman dealing in Washington, D.C., and the Democrats and the Republicans, and they all hate each other and stuff like that, to a nonpartisan race. It's not.
Oh, you hit the nail on the head. That is amazing. The idea of being in a nonpartisan position where it doesn't matter whether you're R or a D, it matters that you get things accomplished. And I think I've proven myself over the last 40 years that I certainly get things accomplished. I work hard. I have a lot of energy. I know what I'm talking about. I have vast experience in any number of issues. And so it seemed like a good fit. And the idea that you could do public service all day and night and then go to sleep in your own bed was very appealing to me.
Sure.
When I was in Congress for 7 terms, I went back and forth every weekend, every single weekend. I needed to be home to meet with my constituents, and also my children were much younger, obviously. So I had to be home. And then, of course, I had to be in D.C. during the week. And so that was a job with a very long commute.
Sure.
The fact that I can work all day and probably into the night and then go home is something that I really am looking forward to.
It must be quite a culture shock dealing with national issues compared to local issues in Las Vegas. What would you say are the main issues if you become mayor, and what do you want to accomplish?
Well, I think there's a number of things. First of all, I believe the next decade, the next 10 years are going to be among the most explosive in the history of Las Vegas and actually all of Southern Nevada. We're going to get the A's in a few years. We're going to get an NBA team. I would bet money on that. And people say, well, will you bet? I said, I grew up in Las Vegas. Of course I'll bet. But I think that's going to be what that'll do is generate more jobs, and it's going to generate more population because people end up where they can get jobs in order to support their family. So there's going to be tremendous growth. Tremendous economic development, and I think I'm uniquely situated to be able to do that. The issues that everybody is talking about right now and will need to be addressed, and they need to be addressed, is what are we going to do with the homeless
Right.
population? Business people are telling you we have to do something. They can't have, there's a tourist town. They can't have their customers stepping over homeless
Unfortunately, yes.
people in order to get to their business. It's also a humanitarian issue. You don't want people lying in the streets in dire straits. Also, and linked with that is affordable housing. I mean, the first home that my family ever purchased was one of the cinder block homes off of Eastern, because I went to Valley High School.
Okay.
It would cost $33,000.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of money in those
sure
days,
it was.
but not too much. You know, my dad was a waiter when I was growing up, and it was a little house, but it gave us roots. We belonged in the community. We were homeowners. And I think part of my responsibility is to make sure that other people coming up behind me have the same opportunities that my family had. Now, and I had. It wasn't a palatial home, I can assure you. But the fact of the matter is it made a tremendous difference in our family. Third issue, and really big, crime.
Yeah.
And I've been working, I'm very, very close friends with our new sheriff. I like his brand of policing, and I've met with his entire team to discuss what the future holds for Metro. And right now, crime is down with the exception of car hijackings. And if you have a Kia or a Hyundai, it's already been stolen while we're talking.
Right.
But be that as it may, crime is down. There's a good feeling in the community, but that's a big issue. And then, of course, for any community, if you're not growing, you're dying. Economic growth and development. We are a magnet for people across the country coming to either retire or to find jobs to take care of their families.
So one of the things that I heard from people is that there's going to be growth, exactly like you said. The A's are going to be coming to town. That's a whole another ballgame, so to speak, right?
So to speak.
Is there going to be enough water?
Oh, that is such a good question. These are all issues, and this answers one of the other questions that you had earlier. When I was in Congress, part of my congressional district overlaid the city of Las Vegas. I worked very, very closely with Mayor Oscar Goodman because we served at the same time. I also had North Las Vegas and parts of Clark County, including the Strip. So I know these issues very well, and there's nothing that's happening in the city that I haven't been working on through my entire career. As an assemblywoman, as a member of the Board of Regents, last 7 terms that I served was, of course, in D.C., representing the city of Las Vegas. So I know these issues well. So whatever we're going to be working on, healthcare with the new health district on Charleston, which is, of course, in the city of Las Vegas. I've been running a medical school, 2 medical schools actually, for the last 9.5 years. I know healthcare very well. Education. I was the provost of a university for the last 9.5 years. Gaming. My working at the old Sands Hotel, I have a good gaming background, and no matter what, it's still the engine that drives this economic train. In addition to that, for the last 10 years, I've been on the board of the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance. What was their mission? To bring new businesses with good paying jobs to Las Vegas. We want to diversify the economy. Much as I personally love gaming, I also recognize that you can't be 100% dependent on one industry. So every issue that we're talking about, every issue important to the people of the city of Las Vegas, I am very, very comfortable with. And I think we need a leader for the future.
Well, the funny thing is that when I was preparing for this and getting ready, and I'm thinking, I've been here close to 24 years. And during that time, the mayor of Las Vegas' last name was always Goodman.
Yes.
And how does it feel to try and follow in their footsteps, good, bad, or indifferent? It must be very difficult. Or how do you approach it?
It'll be something new for the city. I mean, look, my very dear friend Jan Jones, was a trailblazer when it came to being mayor of Las Vegas. And then, of course, Oscar redefined the position. And Carolyn has been a very, very good mayor, good, solid mayor. And so we've had a number of decades of solid mayoral support. And so I think that I can handle this. It'll be different. People are very accustomed to the Goodmans. I certainly am.
Yeah.
But they said the same thing when I took over Toro, because there was a person that had been there before me, a very good friend of mine, actually, that was there for the 10 years prior. Oh, my heavens, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
If you use your skill set, if things are different, but on the other hand, there's continuity. I mean, I don't want to overturn the things the Goodmans did, or Jan did for that matter. I want to enhance it. We need to move forward, and they certainly have left me a solid foundation. And I shouldn't be so presumptuous, whoever becomes mayor, where the budget is in good shape for the city of Las Vegas. There are a lot of issues that are growth related, but I'd rather be tackling those issues than worried about losing my tax base and not growing, not moving forward. That is not the Las Vegas of the next decade.
Well, let's do this thing. With the minute or so that we have left, if people want information about you, want to volunteer, want to contribute, how do they get a hold of you?
My website is Berkley, the number 4 mayor.com. Berkley4mayor.com. All the information is on there. You could donate, you could volunteer, you could read about me. Any questions that you have, we'll be more than glad to answer. And I love my seniors.
Well, that's my last question for you, Shelley. And I'm going to be asking this to a number of people at the Vegas Voice. Seniors should vote for you because?
Well, a very good question, and this is the answer.
Go ahead.
I have been a strong supporter of senior issues since I first started in the Nevada State Assembly. When I was in Congress, I championed protecting Social Security, protecting and expanding Medicare so that everybody has access to basic health care in this country. In addition to that, seniors are particularly vulnerable to crime. We need to make sure that seniors feel safe in their own home and in their neighborhoods. So I think I have a wonderful record with seniors. And of course, when it comes to senior veterans, I don't think there's anybody that can match my record. As you know, the new VA hospital in North Las Vegas, that was my congressional district, and I got the funding to build that remarkable facility, which I am very, very proud of.
Good. I thank you so much for being here.
Dan, a pleasure.
And this is Dan Roberts for the Vegas Voice saying we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.